Hey there, neighbors and naysayers. June 14th, 2025. I made a video this morning, but happy Flag Day to everyone. I hear there's a lot of stuff going on out in the world. I really don't know anything about it because I don't watch the news. So, other than that, I think it's President Trump's birthday. Other than that, I don't know what's happening today. Anyway, I had some questions today about how much is enough in this trampled mess we've got here. And you know, we talk as grazing educators about 8 inches and 4 inches and 11 inches and all those things. And how do you do that in this? Well, you don't. You just don't do it. And there was a young man had a comment or a question on the regenerative grazing group today about, you know, what does it look like? And he had a video, so I thought I'd match his video with one of mine. This is what I consider enough. I told him somewhere between 60 and 80% of the seed heads consumed, eaten, trampled, broken off, whatever. This is what I want to see. When we get into here, maybe just a little too much left standing, but still okay. And then I'm going to go back to the day before, and the day before's paddock was just a little bit bigger. And this is what I don't really want. I don't really want still a forest of seed heads standing up here. I wish I could have tightened them down a little bit, but it's just the way it goes. And you don't, I said the other day, I wish I could mark each specific piece and know what I did the time before and see and follow it through, but it's just too many pieces to have to follow through. But, I mean, this is going from, okay, that's good enough, to this is what my preferred is. My preferred is stuff I don't have to weave my way through to walk. I can just walk through it. And you know, again, from the video earlier, maybe I'm doing this wrong. You know, we're putting too much forage down. You know, maybe it's hurting us in the long run. I don't know. The only way I know is I don't want to mow it with a mower. I don't want to bale it for hay, and I don't want to brush hog it. So this is the one way I know to get it right. If we would fence the farm into 30 or in our case 60 paddocks with 2 different groups and just rotate them through, it would be a mess. You know, they'd just be standing seed heads everywhere and they'd be walking around the clumps. And this is the way I know to do it, and this is the way I know to get it right. And it's feeding the soil, and I'm really seeing a change. And so I hope that that's what we're seeing. I think we're more grass dominant. We need to do everything we can to get legumes in. I've even considered running a group of sows behind these sheep and cows, just to eat up some of this forage, and also to just make me some patches here and there that were open. And maybe that group, I put some clover seed in their feed, so the clover goes through and we do some seeding in those bare spots. I don't know, maybe we just walk along and spread seed in those spots if the sows make some spots, just to get some diversity in there. I don't know. I'm always trying to think of something new, and how do we make this better. But I think this is where we need to be. I'm sure it could use some tweaks, but this is what I'm happy with. The young man today, I said he was going to have 38 paddocks before he'd be back to something he grazed before, and that's great. But I did say to him that 38 paddocks in this is okay, but you know, you're only going to have half as much growth, or maybe 3/4 as much growth the next time. And so now you cut the paddocks in half, or 3/4 at least, and that's below 40 days of rest. That's not enough. So we need to be mindful of that too. And at that point, you either have to enter in ground that had been mowed for hay, or you have to have less animals, or you have to have prescribed times you're going to feed some forage of some kind, some stored forage, because we're just not going to have enough time for it to regrow. And getting back to it before it has fully rested is the real problem. That's when overgrazing really begins. So with that, I'll say we'll see you next time.